in the back there. But I thought first maybe I should mention that I also do tours up in Brampton. I live in Brampton. And 2 weeks ago, I got invited.
All right. That's good. You'll trust us.
I'm gonna I'm gonna be back here. They said to be back here by about 10 to 7. Okay, you have a hand stamp? Okay, well then get your hand stamped then to be on the safe side.
I'm not coming back.
No.
Okay, well, they said.
As long as you walk us in, it's good.
Okay.
Yeah,
As long as he walks us in, it's good.
no, it's okay. It's okay.
He's
Okay.
good.
I can always go to the show office.
That's right. Walk straight through the office.
Yeah, because I went to the show office and the lady goes, "Can I help you?" And I said, "Well, I'm dressed like this because I'm your entertainment."
Sure.
And she goes, "Yeah, I guess you don't walk around." I mean, I went into a store today on my way down here, and the guy goes, "Oh, you do ghosts?" He goes, "Well, what are you dressed like that?" And I said, "I'm going to a party."
You find that Scanning Cabin is haunted?
That's got a whole different haunting all together.
Thank you.
I assume people would have to have died somewhere to be haunted, I'm guessing.
We had a group that wrote a book on my tour and kind of falsified a few things on the
Thank you.
book. And they put equipment in there. You gotta think, that thing's built like 1796, something like that.
Yeah, that's right.
And then it was,
The first house in Toronto.
yeah, and it's empty
Mm-hmm.
for, till the scouting went back over to England, meaning for 1812. Rented out, but no one's actually stayed in there. I checked it out since 1850.
Wow.
So
That's
no,
before
so
it came to CNE then.
yeah, because it just sat out in the woods, and it was
No,
run
right,
away.
the Don River and King Street.
Yeah.
The first house in Toronto.
Well, I wouldn't know it was the first house, but it's the oldest one that's there now. But the house was moved, and no one's ever stayed overnight in it. So if you don't stay overnight, you can't hear if it's haunted. So uh, we had a group say that they heard, like, they put equipment that they hear a woman crying.
Oh, dear.
So okay, well, we have no idea who it might be. There was a lot of killings right around the cabin during the Battle of York.
Ah.
Someone said, well, maybe it's the wife of a soldier. All kinds of ideas came up. But
At one time, there was 5 people living there in Scanning Cabin.
not on the grounds. No. Before us.
Before
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
moved.
yeah. But anyway, back to the future here. In 2004, during George Open events, and I was down here, but I remember the lady, an older lady in her 80s, took a heart attack at the door, locking it, dropped dead right on the step.
Alright.
And her name's Evelyn. And everyone, be very careful of this truck here. You don't know where he's going.
Maybe backing up.
Yeah, just be careful. Don't. Okay. So Evelyn, so Evelyn took a heart attack and died right there. And usually a ghost will, if they died a sudden death, or they really love the place, or something's possessed by them, then it's a haunting. But what happened? Evelyn just died a horrible death, died right there. And we had in 2018, a lady said she was a medium, and she came in and she started to cry, and she got the other ladies crying, and she said my chest hurts. So they got her outside. She calmed down. Then she came back in and started crying again, and it got everybody all worked up.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, someone says, "I haven't cried like that since Evelyn died." And everybody just, and I was down here that day doing the Saturday. All of a sudden, everybody says, Evelyn. They had forgotten all about Evelyn had died there. So that's who was haunting the place, and still could be haunting the place, is Evelyn.
Right in here.
No, I think they moved.
CNE.
No, yeah, maybe I think they moved them over to another office. But
In the CNE grounds.
no, over on Queen and River there somewhere.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So I believe that the haunting that was there was Evelyn. Because there's been no activity of no one dying or anything at that house ever until Evelyn passed away back in 2004.
You have to die in order to haunt the house. You did?
Yep.
In the house. So there could be someone dying in my house.
Someone probably could have.
Yeah.
Could have died in there. Yeah. Or maybe you have something that's possessed.
I think so. There was a show on TV about two ladies who were Ghostbusters.
No, we're going right here.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Here?
What's that?
Is it haunted in here?
I'm going to tell you about it. It is haunted. This is one of the most haunted buildings on the ground. Yeah.
Oh, it's never
So you get a picture. You take some photographs.
Good. What should I take the photo of?
Steve. The VIP.
Yeah, I'll tell you. Give me a chance here. I'll tell you. This is one of the most haunted buildings on the grounds. And when you do one of our tours at Exhibition Place, we get you inside the buildings. We get the first building is called the Services Building up by Straughn Avenue. And then this building here, usually on a tour, you don't get a chance to get inside. Now, I stop people down here because we get a lot of photographs with orbs. And this is the first tour of the year, and usually it gets things stirred up a bit. Sometimes. I can't guarantee. I mean, if I could guarantee, we'd be charging you $1,000 a person. Yeah. Yeah. Or someone asked me once, they said, is there guarantees? And I said, no, I did not. Yeah. I said, yeah. But we get a lot of pictures of orbs in this area. Now, orbs are round cylinders, like on your photograph, round circles. And they sort of have a marking in them. And I've seen them up in the corners, up over the stables, and they'll be upstairs. But this area is good. So I encourage you to take a lot of pictures. Now, I also encourage you not to go over to the ring. There's a ring here, and there's a horse farm. And they don't like people over there because it scares the horses. And then someone could fall off, and they could,
But they're not
and then I
here.
have another ghost.
They're
What's
not
that?
here now, are
Here
they?
they are. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 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 and you have the police are down at the other end here. So, but we promised the school that we would, escorting school, that we would stay away from their area like we do every other year. And we don't go near the raining, then we keep it quiet over there. That's why I don't have the speaker with me here, but I don't need it. But one of our hauntings here, famous hauntings, is down at the school. They have a dog, and right now they're not doing it with the dog, but they brought the dog over. This is the largest ramp. Building's built 1931. There's a small ramp on the other side. This is the big ramp, and they would take the ball and they would throw it up the ramp up to the top, and the dog would run up and grab it and come back down. And they would do that about 4 or 5 times. And then on the last time that they did it, the dog would come down on its own with no ball and be kind of whimpering a bit and would run all the way back over to the other side of the building to its bed. And then the ball suddenly, not like minutes, but a few seconds later, as the dog was going, came bouncing down the ramp. Like someone was up there and just let the ball go. But yet there's no one in there. The building was quiet the way it is now. There's no one in here. The only time this building's full of life is when the Royal Winter Fair is open. It's packed. But this time of year, any other time of the year, we just have the school and the police over here. So we're gonna go upstairs, we're gonna go up the ramp, and the lady's got a stroller to push. You could leave it down here. No, you can bring it up. Yeah, so if you'd like to follow me, we'll go upstairs.
So you've been doing this a long time, Steve?
What's that?
You've been doing this a long time?
2005.
2005 years. Wow.
2005. Local tour with 200 people, and then I've been having on to it every year. And then we did the first tour of 2006.
Fantastic. Fantastic. And how many ghosts have you experienced or orbs seen? Or
About four.
oh, that's good.
Is it more haunted at Halloween than now?
No, I don't think it's more haunted. I think on a time like this, when there's been no activity, no one around, I think it sort of gets the spirits going sometimes.
Yeah, they must be excited to see people.
Well, that's what I figure.
They miss you,
It
Steve.
sounds silly, but
It's true. They miss you. Because usually if there's ghosts, it's only if people have died, right? So
What's
usually you get ghosts at a location because someone's died at that location, right?
Right. It's like a cemetery.
Right.
They're not usually haunted because no one died there. Except someone proved me wrong 2 years ago, and I said because of personal items. I went to a graveyard. We went at night with a ghost group, and there was my meter went off, and so did their equipment at two graves. And they
Ah,
said because the two ladies that were buried there were buried with personal items.
ah.
That's why. But usually, I mean, someone dies over here, and they're buried 50 miles north of here.
Mhm.
You don't haunt the place. They didn't die there. So
Yeah.
sorry, I talk so funny about the tech and stuff like that. Now at the back here, there's this building. There was actually, and it's usually locked up. And I know it's locked up now because I can see the block on the door. And it's a bar, the Big and Bridal, and it's only open during the horse pounds.
It's
or
a
the horse
pub.
show.
So it's a pub. That's
pub,
it.
yeah.
Wow.
And I've had it when it's open, I sneak people right in. And we've had a group go in there before, and we had a ghost group with these five ladies and two guys, and they were all pumped up. They're Ghostbusters. They want to see ghosts. So they get in there, and all of a sudden you see the one woman standing there, it's shut, and she screamed. And then she saw a figure moving. She goes, I've heard of this stuff. She goes, I've been studying it, and I've never actually been shoved by one before. So there is something that haunts. And if we don't know the name of the person that haunts it,
Mhm.
then we're not going to make anything up. But we do know that it's haunted, and it's a friendly haunt for the kids, if they know. No one has ever got hurt
That's good.
here.
Yeah.
Now, the one major haunting, and it started with me here, with an old fellow that was retiring back in 2005. And he goes, come on, you gotta go to the horse palace. Gotta go to the horse palace. He's in security. I go, well, what's going on? He goes, there's all kinds of crazy stuff. There's horses vanishing, and you hear horses walking. There's no horses. There's a guy in a horse, and he vanishes. He disappears. And where that happens is right here. We've had five different people, custodians. One guy actually became the manager of here, this building, and now he works for the CNE. And the CNE is different from Exhibition Place. And then there's been other custodians, and heard the same story. They're working in one of these stalls right along here, and it's after the Royal Winter Fair, and they're raking out. The stalls are dirty. There's all kinds of horse poop in here. So they're raking it out here, and all of a sudden the guy goes, it's just one custodian. Because I showed him a picture downstairs. He goes to me, that cold feeling. Anybody ever get a cold, creepy feeling?
Yeah, in the winter.
Yeah, the winter. It's kind of good in the winter there. And he goes, I get that cold feeling. He goes, I come out, I look. He goes, and there's a man in a uniform on a horse walking right here, right down through here. He goes, and when he got up close to me, he goes, he was a police officer, and he gave me the nod. The nod is what people on horses, when they see someone, instead of waving at them, they just sort of go like that. Like you see motorcycles, they wave. Look at people on the horses. He gave me the nod. He goes, he gave me the nod. He goes, I went back in. He goes, and then I came out. He goes, and then I went down the hall, down here, down the other one. He goes, and there was nothing down there. There was no one up here. He goes, I couldn't even hear footsteps going. It was so nerving that happened to us. So the thing is, who is it? Who could be haunting here? Well, I know. I'm sorry, what's that? A cowboy? Well, actually it's a police officer, and his name is Robert Wright, and I know that because I talked to his son. He works for the Toronto Sun, and Robert Wright worked as a police officer, and he took a heart attack downstairs in the lunchroom, in the police lunchroom down there. They have a photograph of him up there, and I took one of the custodians, and he goes, "Yeah, that's the guy." And I go, "Look, he's dead. He took a heart attack down there." And I say, "Well, what about the horse?" I believe that animals have feelings. There's a spirit in an animal. And what happened was at his funeral and this happened March 27th, 1990, that George White took the heart attack and died. At his funeral, 2 weeks later, his horse was there. And his horse's name was Billy. And a few days later, Billy passed away. Probably passed away because he was lonely. Because those riders and horses are very, very close. I know a few of these guys and women, and they're close to the horses. So George and his horse Billy are still riding in the building here today, and that's who it is that haunts them. And I have challenged anyone to tell me different about what's going on. Sorry, I wasn't asking you to personally challenge me. Now we've had people would get orbs up here. So I don't know if anyone's taken any photographs. This is always a popular place. You might see it later. I was up here doing a tour, and all of a sudden there was a blue orb went between me and a lady standing beside me. And she goes, "Oh, look at that, the blue orb!" And I go, "That's the dead going through." And I shouldn't have said that. Some people really get
You're just not used
choked
to
up.
it.
Yeah,
Not used to it.
about it.
Did she share the photo with you?
No, I have the video.
Oh,
Yeah, I
good.
have the video. Maybe I can get it out later.
Sure.
Find it and show it to you. It's a blue orb. They come in different colors, and it's hard to determine why there's different colors. I watch a lot of shows. I get a lot of things. I even get invited on to things, but I'm very much you cannot control the dead.
No.
I don't care what anybody says. You don't know, and we don't really know until we go to the other side.
Mm-hmm.
So, who haunts us? Who are the orbs? And our best guess is we're going to walk down the hall and we're going to go over to the other end of the building. There's a plaque and it's got the name of soldiers on it. During World War II, there was over 20,000 men. The women were over at the Stanley Barracks. The 20,000 men were in and out of this building. And some of them came back after the war. And I believe the orbs are them. And there's some names on the wall that you can actually see where they carved their names in and dates. 1943 kind of takes you back in time. So if you'd like to follow me, we'll walk over there. Okay. I forgot to mention we have Fiona here. Fiona's the head of archives for Exhibition Place. She's the one that digs up all those old pictures and finds out that information.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Every once in a while. Are they ready to submit it?
Yeah. But intentionally at the main entrances, they've embedded prints into
Oh,
the ground.
when this was wet, eh?
Yeah.
So there's known of at least 3 different ghosts that haunt the building?
There's more.
Okay.
They come up. We'll move up a bit.
Sure.
Up here.
The Royal Minter Fair is good. I'll have that pub open.
Oh, this
So you
place
go take
comes
a look.
alive. I went the first time in years.
Is that
Last
October?
year. No, November.
November? Okay. I'll have
I
to
went
go visit.
the first time in years. Now, a couple years ago, I used to volunteer and help out with AIM TV and radio. It was for disability, people that are blind. Well, not 100% blind, but blind. And we were in here with one fellow, Dan, doing his show. And he says, okay, I'm going to get my, he's a big guy. He goes, I'm going to get my stick. We're all down there watching him. And he's up here by himself. He goes, I'm going to get my stick. He goes, I'm going to come down. And he goes, and you got the lights dim, as you can tell. So all of a sudden he's standing there and he goes, who's doing that? What's going on? Something was pulling his shirt and holding it. And he goes, someone's holding my shirt. We have it on film. And we go, yeah, we can see that. So all of a sudden he goes, I'm going to start, he goes, I'm going to start walking down real fast now. And I'll tell you, I've never seen anyone so scared in my life. They're all the time. But we get a lot of activity. The odd time, down, I go along this hall, we'll get a loud bang in one of these stalls here. And people taking photographs. And they got orange, big orange orb. But the thing is, you can't promise or say we're going to see this because you can't, as I said, you can't control the dead that's out there. So if we come down here, we'll talk about who the orb from.
And they can come in the day or night, right?
What's that?
It's not nighttime. They come out. They can come out anytime they want.
Anytime, yeah. Hauntings are all the time.
Yeah. So you're gonna let us know how many different ghosts you think that are on the building?
In here?
Sure.
Well, I've seen, you see, we've had downstairs, well, like maybe thousands with the orbs, but downstairs, there'd be two down there, and I know of, the one up here. And
Right.
There's also a horse up here, and remind me about the horse.
Yeah.
Down here, the horse, and about seven.
That's good.
That we know of.
And you've had experience 4 at least.
But see, things come up every couple of months.
Sure.
All the time.
That's good.
They tell me,
But they're all friendly ghosts, which is good. Because no one's gotten harmed.
you have another one of the worst houses. There's a nasty one that's down here.
A nasty ghost? Oh, okay.
You're killing me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've actually been on the tour, and twice I've had someone tell their spouse, come on, let's go. Quit looking at the pictures. And all of a sudden you see her standing at the bottom of the stairs, turned, and fell. And about 70 people on that tour, and then your mouth dropped. It was silent for about 10 minutes.
Yeah. I think it's fascinating because one of my friends, he's passed, but he used to do this paranormal. It's quite fascinating. Yes. How's it going? Good to see you.
Okay, outside the door here, there's a plaque on the wall with plexiglass over it, where some of the soldiers during World War II had carved their names in it. And as I said, it was the men, because the women were over at the Stanley Barracks over there. Now, this building had over 20,000 men come through here. So they would come in, they could live in Brampton, Keswick, here in Toronto. They would come in through the Dufferin Gate, which is over on the east side of the grounds. I have to mention that because some people may not be from here. And there used to be a house. And you would go into that house and you would do all the paperwork. And you would determine whether you were in the army or not. So once they passed that and came in here, they would come in here and all these stalls would be full and there'd be 4 men to a stall. And they'd be here for about 3 weeks, maybe 4 weeks training.
Wow.
And then they would go to one of these 7 camps in Ontario. And the closest one being up outside of Barrie, in Camp Borden. Yeah, in Camp Borden there. And then they would go training there, come back here for about a week. And then they would get on one of the trains that would stop out the back here. Even though the train was down further, the military train would stop out here. And then it would head out to Halifax. And then those soldiers would go overseas to the Western Front. And we know a lot of those young men died, didn't come back. And then even when the war was over, this building and part of the Coliseum was used for when they did come back. Some of them were here up to a year just to get resettled in. Because a lot of them had shell shock and other stuff there that they don't talk too much about, but now it's sort of so we has to figure that the orbs that we see around the building here is a good chance, because there's so many of them, that they belong to these soldiers that died. because this was the last place that they enjoyed themselves before going overseas. Get on the train, out to Halifax, onto a boat, boom, go out to Western France, you're dead. It was that quick. And this would be the last place where they would have had some enjoyment for themselves. Now, before I say about going out to have a look here, there's also a horse that people hear. And we've had the police do an investigation, but the media, they wouldn't talk to the media about it. Donald Trump was in, the guy goes, there's no way I'm going on record. I said, oh, he's saying that there's a horse. But they did go around 11 o'clock at night, and even during the day, downstairs, when the school opens up, they take the horses that have been in the stable and they take them to the rink over here. And the horses get to exercise. Well, as the horses in the stall are walking along, or the other horses, they can hear upstairs here something walking heavy. A horse. They can hear a horse. And as it moves, the other horses in the stall start to get excited and get giddy and start moving up and down. And then when it goes out by the ring, at the end of aisle L there, the horses in the ring will stop and look up. And they're staring at something. They're staring at a horse. And then this suddenly just goes, disappears. And that's happened. I know the one lady told me there a few years ago that was happening every day. But I haven't heard anyone mention that in a while. So we do have a horse that haunts. The police are saying to me that they're down there at 11 o'clock at night, and all of a sudden they hear a horse up here walking around. And they come up, they got permission, they come up, nothing here, nothing walking around. It's just like it is now. Just some fan going or something like that. So just to keep you on time there, it is 6:35. It happens anytime of the day or night. But in the morning it happens, eh? And because the horses come out, and then the police report it at night. So when there's no one here at night, you know, because the horses really hear things. Because I've been in here at 2:30 in the morning, had soft shoes on, and I walk past the horses, and one looks out at you, and when one looks out at you, they all put their heads up.
Wow.
I don't like horses. I've been in here on a Sunday for another event, and the horse has been in the ring, and I took my tea, and I'm watching them, and they stop jumping around playing, and they look at me, like, what are you doing, buddy? What are you staring at? And I'm like, I never feel it. I could feel it. But anyway, out here, I'm gonna make sure the door doesn't lock. Right here.
Ah, Robert May, 1940.
So the ones that
1945.
You can see them right here. You can see somebody in the bump. Bill,
Sam, 1942.
and then somebody put it in the source. And it works so hard to get that up there. And some of the persons that works to do it.
I can see the dog.
As soon as the other comes.
There's a
Yeah. Did you get other people start putting their names in there? You see, and you see. You like the design? Yeah. 1931. Yeah. Close there. We have one in Brandon. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna walk back. Now, we're gonna walk back. Because I don't want to go downstairs in the horse. Instead of going through, you can go through up here. Down. Better.
okay, so it's
follow me.
possible for me to go out. Go train.
Yes.
Yeah, you can get out down there. The GO train? Yeah. But when you get down there, make sure you head west.
Yeah, correct. Well, guys, I'll leave you here.
Thank you for
See
joining
any
us,
words,
eh?
they're not me. I won't. Okay.
So the bar is definitely one, this upper level, but also down below there's ghosts. That's good.
Not too many.
Yeah,
More up the top here.
that's good. That's exciting.
That's kind of cute. Kind of grounds. You know, I came down to the Royal Winter Fair, and I haven't been down here since about 2005. I brought my 3 grandsons. And when I came in the building here, every time I come in here, all I talk about is the dead and think the dead. And when I walked in here and saw all the stables full, the people living in them, it was like, wow, there's life here.
Yeah.
My oldest grandson was kind of embarrassed. He was, Papa, just control yourself.
I think it's wonderful because that is some event, the Royal Winter Fair. That's why I'm excited to go see the pub. Is there certain stalls that are haunted? Is there certain like that or?
No, we haven't found any. As I said, it was on that one road that there's been a few happenings and noises
Yeah.
and bangs on there because there is a photograph out there of the old archives manager walking along, and all of a sudden she jumped about 2 feet in the air because the door beside her went boom, like someone was inside and kicked it.
What's good is the horses can see maybe a ghost of horse, and people have seen figures of someone on a horse and people as well.
Yes.
That's cool.
Well, that's what I was saying about the fellow over here.
Yeah.
He actually saw an image, and he saw it so clear that he could
Recognize this picture. That's amazing. And they know his name too,
yes.
which is cool.
But we're gonna go. Be careful over the ring there, eh? There's no horses out there. They get. They don't like us looking over there because they get
The horses get nervous.
the horses get nervous, and they said that they'll make me another ghost in here. Isn't that right, Fiona? I'll be another ghost.
So, Fiona, do you have archives of pictures of orbs and stuff like that? Have people given you those, or?
No, I think
Okay. Yeah, excellent.
I don't know where that one went to. Probably I got 1,000 pictures here.
Oof. You're friendly with a lot of ghosts. Sorry?
What's that?
Well, one of my friends used to do it, and one of my friends passed away. One of my friends does it in the UK.
Oh,
So she has all the equipment and stuff like that.
yeah.
Yeah, so it's kind of cool.
Because they do think it's
Equipment. Yeah. They know Steve. That's why they're excited to see him.
Last year, the guy had the box. Yeah.
help you here.
Now, see, some of those boxes, we got a few minutes here. Like, I have an app on here, and the app, it's got a little ghost figure. And it works the same way that Pokemon does.
Yes.
You know, when you hit Pokemon, it beams up or beams down, and it picks up your location.
Yeah.
So the ghost ones know everything that's gone on around that area. So they know Bob, Steve, Dolores, anyone has died in that area, and it might go and say the name. Dolores, Steve. I've heard that before.
Mm.
But I did hear one that I heard up in Brampton, and there's no way they would have known. They said the guy's his first name instead of his second name. And I thought, oh, that's good. So I use that the other time. Hasn't really did anything. But the box that this guy has, there's no app in it. It's not connecting to the internet. It's just a regular, real ghost box. You want to see it. It's just a box that they've made, that they put together, and it wasn't saying nothing. It was just a lot of, and he goes, can you say someone's name, or is there someone here? And it goes, Steve, just like that. And I said, oh. And I said, well, I've taken over 10,000 people through here, and I've been doing it since 2005. They should at least know who I am, right?
I think so.
Yeah. Yeah, because every year, usually I have someone tells me that I'm in big trouble because I'm disturbing the spirits, and then I'm going to be in trouble. So I might be in ghost here.
Oh no. And the ghosts know each other, it seems,
That's
eh?
right.
That's
It
cool.
sounds like something off of that that new what's that? I have it in here. Beetlejuice. Oh yeah. Sounds like something out of Beetlejuice, doesn't it? Eh?
Yeah, we spoke.
Say, Steve, 3 times. Steve, Steve, Steve. I'm going to do the stairs.
But no one's gotten hurt. You've learned so many people
Well,
in.
we've had a lady, we've had 2 women twice at those stairs that have actually fallen
Right.
at the bottom step.
Either you were
The one
pushed or
sorry, I exaggerated it, but I wasn't exaggerating when she fell. The one lady at the top was at her husband, was down on the bottom, and she goes, hurry up. And she was a soccer, her daughter was. And she goes, hurry up. What are you looking at that for? And the next thing you know, you see her twist, turn, and fall down.
oh,
And I've seen that happen before where someone didn't say anything, but they took a bit of a trip on the bottom stair when they were saying something nasty. You shouldn't speak ill of the dead.
no.
Sorry, I'm going down slow too. Because my legs is knee is starting to heal up.
This really helped them.
Yeah. I had someone bang my knee in a restaurant.
Hey.
The best is hospital.
Ah, that's good news.
The other guy where I work, he's Indian, and he said, "Well, why do you use mustard oil?" And it's an old thing. And they'd be like, "Well, if you would drink the grocery store, I go, sorry, right in where sunflower oil, vegetable oil, there is mustard oil. $4 a jar. And then yeah, I rub it around. I rub it around my knee, my leg there. It helped right away. He says they cook with it, but I said to him, I said, well, I'm not going to cook because it says there for external use only. But it's just one of those products that I never bothered with, so I never paid attention. But now I see it every store. So we're going to go outside here, and thank you very much for coming out.
Thank you, Steve.
Thank you. And I hope you found that a bit interesting.
Yes.
It is real spiritual stuff. It's not murder mystery based on,
That's right. In history.
and hopefully we'll see you out for one of our tours. Because the tour is a bit longer. Thank you very much. Nice to see you again. It starts at the main place, at the services building, and we do come in here. I try to make it a bit faster in here, and then we go over to the other end of the grounds. Over by, we end up standing cabin.
Oh.
Yes,
How long is the regular tour?
about 2 hours.
Okay, great.
It's 2 hours. Yeah, yeah, and I keep it right on topic. My niece tells me that when my niece is out helping me, she tells me to be quiet. She goes, keep focused because there's so much down here. Yes.
Thank you. That's good. Horse pallets, door 56. That's awesome. Perfect.
No,
Thank you for watching.